Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Friday to you all. Hopefully, your week is wrapping up nicely, or you're perhaps getting an early start to the weekend. Regardless, hope you're having a good day today. We have got a whopper of a project to get through today because the day is finally here after a very long time. 3 pre-release MVs, The Rose's long-awaited studio-length album, Duel, is finally here. Get to check out the rest of the songs on this album. Of course, we've spent some time on the 3 pre-releases. I believe Back to Me, Live, and You're Beautiful. We have spent time on those already, and now we get to go through the other 8 songs on this 11-song album. I'm tremendously excited for it. Of course, ever since checking out in the entirety of Suband 1 and learning about Mr. Kim Sung, and just kind of falling into the Rose hole afterwards. Here we are. My first ever album with them. This is tremendously exciting. Hopefully you're excited as well. So let's dive right into it. DJ, roll the intro. It's a good start. Oh, let it grow. Ooh, hold on a minute. What's interesting about Dawn is, I've mentioned this on various pieces of music before, but when a song is able to paint the picture or paint a really vivid mental image just based off of the song, it's a very powerful song. And for me, the title says it all. Dawn, right? You see the sun creep up over the horizon, but even before you do that, you see the night sky go this really like from black to this dark blue, light blue, maybe it goes a little bit like periwinkle, it turns a little bit purple. And then you see the sun very slowly start to peak ever so close to the horizon. You get your yellows and oranges. And as soon as it breaks that that horizon line, boom! Giant massive light ball that just appears out of the ground seemingly, right? Dawn very much resembles that. It starts off really gentle, kind of like stars twinkling in the night sky, and then very slowly it builds up. And then it has that initial first hit, first level it hits. That's seeing the sky turn that purple and orange and yellow, and it's very pretty, but the sun hasn't cleared the horizon yet. And then it keeps building, and then all of a sudden you get that big hit. Boom! The sun clears the horizon. You see the sun in all its glory. The sky is suddenly lighting up. And when the song at the end peters away, it's like the beauty of the sunrise has gone away. The sun is clearly in the sky, and the sky is like completely blue. The beauty of the sunrise might be gone, but the sun is still there. That imagery is tremendously well translated into the song. Oh, that's spectacular. Kind of reminds me of the scenes I used to go night fishing for salmon. About around this time of the year, actually, just like go out into the harbor. I used to live by Lake Michigan. So go out with my dad at like 11 p.m., fish through the night for salmon, and then go home once we saw the sunrise. It was a very, very therapeutic time, very healing, great bonding moment with my dad, but very much reminiscent of that. Great song, great song. Yo, shout out the bassist. His groove is really driving the song forward. The bassist and the drummer, the way Woo-sung delivers the I was about to say the way Woo-sung delivers that final word in his line with the trademark Woo-sung warble, very cool. Interesting they chose the word nauseous for the chorus to do it, but oh, hello gang vocal section. Nauseous. Nauseous is kind of an interesting case study song because it literally has every single part a song needs. It's got verse, pre-chorus, chorus, second verse, second pre-chorus, second chorus, a bridge/instrumental break, and a final chorus. It has all that, and yet it still managed to be under 2.5 minutes. That's kind of impressive, actually. Whoa. Okay. We're off to a start. We've got a start going. It's surprisingly light, if that makes sense. Like this isn't as like gritty as I was kind of expecting it. I don't know why I was expecting the song to be like that. Maybe it's the title of it. A title like Nauseous just makes it sound a little bit like rough around the edges. But this is kind of I don't know why it's giving me this group in my brain, but it's like if Weezer's Buddy Holly got amped up and was like sped up a little bit. I don't know why it's giving me that vibes because it's like stylistically it's not very similar, but it's just got that kind of like take a kind of messy situation and make it a little bit charming kind of vibe. Hmm. This is an interesting song because this one's confusing me in terms of how I want to talk about it and how I want to think about it. Interesting. I like being challenged when it comes to songs. Very subtle string section in the background. Oh! The heavier drop with the vocal chops carrying the vocal? Oh! Change up the beat one time, okay. Converting the vocal chops slowly into the electronic beeps as you muffle the vocals away, that's a very cool production idea. Lifeline is a very fun song for me because it's, admittedly, I'm not well versed in the Rose's discography yet. So I don't know if they've done stuff like this before, but for my head, for my mind, seeing a band do a sound that is more digital and more produced like this, it's kind of like Coldplay's just like Chainsmokers, Coldplay. Oh God, I've forgotten now. Can you tell I'm not very well versed in like the Western pop rock genre, but it reminds me of like that kind of song, you know, heavy on the EDM production styles, but it's being performed by a band. And it doesn't sound out of place. It feels very The Rose to me still. And yet, I don't get the kind of like, oh, I need that actual drum kit in there. I need my electric guitar. I don't get that feeling. But it still feels like a The Rose song for me, and that's what I like about it. I wonder, so, if we're getting an interlude at this point, I'm pretty sure. So I wonder if this is going to be kind of treated as like side A and side B. Oh, slow it down. Slowing down. Slow it down, make it bouncy. Oh, that's a really interesting interlude song, actually. Because it ties in really well with the previous song, right? Like, it continues that beeping motif straight into the next song. And if you were to listen to this on a CD or, you know, seamless transition on Spotify or on a streaming platform of your choice, and you don't notice like the song changing. That beep is just going to be continuous through into the song. But what's interesting is the fact that it slowed it down even more. You can feel that slow retardando as you got, you know, later into the song. That is a musical term. It is Italian. But you hear the song slow down and slow down. It keeps going. And eventually it finds its final note and just kind of dissipates. And that makes me wonder what this next song is going to be and what the second half of the album is going to be. Entirely a cappella start. Acoustic keys. Rumbling double bass? Slow growth too. The like little ebbs and flows you get in this song are so gradual. They last for such a long time. And the fact that this post-chorus gets one more swell after the chorus is super cool. You don't get that in normal post-choruses. Hello, shoulder strings. And the hello, cello. Wow. That's a tune. Okay. So that interlude song is a work of art. It's so good at transitioning into this next song. There's the way the interlude, I think called Dusk, Dawn, Dusk, Dusk. Oh, Dawn to start, Dusk to finish. That makes sense. Sorry, I'm a bit slow on the uptake sometimes, but the way Dusk ends, they're just kind of petering away into white noise, and then the song starting with white noise, and then just the one singular vocal appearing out of nowhere to just start the song entirely in a cappella. That's so pretty. And the way that the song just starts, vocal only, and then you get one instrumental part, then another, then another. But they drip feed it to you. It's like they feed it to you as if, say you were eating like a bowl of rice, they're giving it to you one grain at a time. It's so gradual the builds this song has. But before you know it, this song has swelled and swelled and swelled, and it's just bloomed. And then it peters away again super slowly, and then it builds again super slowly, and then it goes away, and this is like rolling hills in music form, just super gradual. And then Trevor Daniel is a great third addition when it comes to vocals. Adds a little bit of a different vocal texture to it, but also sings in the same register as Dojun and Wusong. I tend to get his name mixed up considering there's a Doon from Forstella who is also a vocalist that I get their name wrong oftentimes. But yeah, the third vocalist is a very nice touch because they can do a lot with that third voice just in terms of like colors and textures and things like that. So it's also a very smooth song too. Interesting meter for this song. There's the growth. I was waiting for that. Hello, synth. Whoa. See, I kind of guessed that this was going to be the type of beat we would get on the drop. Hello, cello. Hello, string section again. Crispy snare, too. Again, this is another song where the swell is really well done. Is this my favorite song on the album so far, or at least in terms of the album listen? Hello, choir section. That song was really cool. That song was really, really cool. Oh, the thing is, this song completely matched my expectations, but also blew my expectations completely out of the water. Listening to the song and just listening to that very opening verse and just kind of like tapping out the beats, I could feel this song was going to be a little bit of a fast tune. It's not fast, but it wasn't going to be that slow, pulsing 1-2 beat. I figured it was going to wrap up at some point. And it did, which I'm proud of myself for feeling, spotting that right away. But the way it grew, man, oh man, was that an experience. It's a sudden rush. Again, we're going to go with the mental imagery thing, but listening to that chorus rush in was like seeing a solar eclipse and just seeing that, what is it called? Like the jewel of the eclipse when the very edge of the sun just peeks out from behind the moon, and you see that massive glint of light. I'm not trying to do the meme thing, but like you see the sun, you see the moon, and then you just see that glint of light that just pops like a jewel from behind the eclipse as the eclipse slowly fades away. It does feel like that sudden rush of light listening to that chorus come in. And then that synth section that just appears out of nowhere. This has been a really good back-to-back, like Eclipse with oh, I've forgotten the song already because my memory is tiny, but like the song before it is a very good 1-2 sequence of songs. We'll keep her moving. All right, what pace is this gonna go at? The Rose EDM banger? I'm on board, hold on. I like that if it's going to be an EDM track, you know it's going to be an EDM track. They don't try and finesse in some actual band instruments. Like, they're very blatant about the fact that this is an electronic song. Tomorrowland, put your hands up. Yeah, this screams festival EDM song to me, and I kind of love it. This stretch of 3 songs is kind of spectacular. I like that even though this is a heavy EDM song, we're getting the vocal moments that we need. Get me all the smoke machines, the pyro, the LED lights. Well, damn. Is this now my favorite song on this listen party so far? It might be. It might be. I don't know if I've talked about it with The Rose specifically. I've definitely talked about it when it comes to like the K-Band's approach, but I very much grew up on 80s rock music, but I had a big phase in high school around like early to mid 2010s where I was very much what do you call it? An EDM head. I listened to a lot of EDM in like the early to mid 2010s, in like the electro genres or dubsteps, your chip tunes, stuff like that. I enjoyed my EDM phase. I still do to an extent. So in a way, this is kind of like a crossover I didn't expect, but I'm enjoying nonetheless. Is when I think of the Rose, I think of guitars, and I think vocals, and I think of Mr. Kim Woo-sung and his vocals, Mr. Do Jung and his vocals, and just like the crunchy band music. No, I guess in the Rose's case, they can do other band music that isn't crunchy, but you get my point. So to see a group like this kind of effortlessly pull off a classic festival EDM tune like Cosmo, very nice indeed. Like this is, I could definitely see this Tomorrowland stage, smoke machine. Tomorrowland, put your hands up, dun, 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 dun. I like the vocal top line. It's low. It's like throaty. A sad boy anthem? I'm so here for it. The unison vocal post-chorus? I like that the second time around that the final chord in that sequence goes minor. Those punchy drums for the entry too. Nice floor toms. Oh man, you feel like the strained emotion from the vocal line on this. That post-chorus with the unison vocal line is brilliant. That is one of those songs where I would love to hear live and hear the crowd sing along with it. I can imagine like this being like the finale song to the album where you're just listening to it, they're performing it, and then after the song's over, they just do the final like post-chorus section, the outro section one more time, cut out all the intros, it's just the members singing along, get the crowd going, and then one last time, just the crowd singing along, and then they cut the show. That is a show ender song. Just very big show ender energy for me, and it's spectacular. And is this okay? This is the last song on the album. Genuinely might have been. That second half of the album was spectacular. Like, it's not that I didn't like the first half, but honestly, from from Dusk, that interlude to the end of the album was spectacular. Like, how is it? Angel, very pretty song, very nice. Eclipse, super. Cosmo, what a party! And then Wonder. Wonder for me is, I mentioned on pretty much every single album listen, but on a pop album, the album typically ends with a ballad because it's a nice way to round out the program project. It's a nice way of setting down the album one final time. It's a nice solid ending, right? Wonder is the next best thing to a ballad to finish an album. This, I mean, I mentioned earlier, right? End of the show type vibes, end of the album. Finish the album how you would end a concert, with one final anthem for the road. Post-concert depression is very much a thing, and once the show's over, everyone goes into their sad boy hours. This very much is a song that welcomes that sad boy hour energy early on, harnesses that energy, and gets you involved one final time so you can have that great memory for the road trip back. And that's spectacular. That's so well done. Oh my goodness. You know what sucks about this album? Is that I have to pick a B-side of the album off of this. The thing is, Back to Me, the impact that Back to Me had when that dropped, and still has to this day, is tremendous. That genuinely may become one of my top played B-sides of the entire year. And that was a pre-release that dropped like a month ago. And yet I don't know if, that song's marinated into my brain essentially. But I don't know if there's going to be a song that tops Back to Me. That's the thought I had going into it, because I enjoyed Back to Me so much. Angel, Eclipse, Cosmo, and Wonder have genuinely made that conversation difficult for me, because I genuinely don't know. It's like, I reckon depending on the day, I'll have a different favorite on the album. It's like right now, off of first impressions, like Cosmo and Wonder are really punching for that number one spot for me and trying to dethrone back to me. And honestly, Cosmo and Wonder had probably had the best chances to do that. I think Eclipse is up there, followed by Angel. And like Nauseous and Lifeline, I didn't mind either. Like I enjoyed those songs. It's just the way this album ended, it got better and better. It legitimately, the album got better and better as the album went on, and that's hard to do. Especially on, I know we only covered 8 songs, but this is an 11-track album. And the fact that it just kept getting better, that's really impressive and kind of scary. But that is it for me today with The Rose. Hopefully you enjoyed listening along with me. But that is it for me today. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much. Oh my goodness. Sorry for that. Had a phone call to take. But that is it for me today. Thank you all for watching along, listening along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from today. Let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be checking with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten someone else's day to day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.